Excited. It is Thursday. We know what that means. Good morning, everyone. This is Carol, so AKA Naughty Boss, on this What's Trending Thursday with two
Sistas. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Janice, AKA Wellness Diva 5.0, Trending Thursday. And what's trending for me? Holy muscle soreness. That is what is trending. So I will be drinking lots and lots and lots of water today to get rid of that lactic acid. You know, when your when your workouts get stagnant, you know when it's time to change. And a lot of times when especially for me, when I go to do that, it's usually the first 2 or 3 days I am so sore. So yeah, that's what is trending for me, muscle soreness.
Well, and it does happen, especially, when you're starting to incorporate different things into your, your workout schedule or whatever. You do find that now all of a sudden you're using muscles that you don't normally use or have used, but maybe you haven't pushed them that hard. I did some pickleball yesterday, late in the afternoon. Not always a good thing in this climate. I think we were close to 100, but we were working out on this new machine. Friends of ours, kudos to Mel and Laura. They have this new pickleball, it serves to you in different types of serves or whatever, and they're cranking them out. And it's just the machine pop, pop, pop. So you're running it all over and working. And I was really working on my backhand, and I have to get into the habit of really making sure that my shoulder is turned more to go after instead of trying to hit it this way to move the body. So I was really working that outer top muscle of the shoulder and the arm. And I'm kind of feeling that today. And the other cool thing about, working out that we don't take for granted, especially depending on where we are climate-wise, if you're outdoors, is, we always say to hydrate, but it's not just hydrating with water. So yesterday, to give you an example, I experienced some dizziness, which doesn't normally happen. But what happened was I'm an intermittent faster. I did my 3 steps. I start my day, or I break my fast with my 3-step nutritional program. So I probably do that. I'm going to guess yesterday I did it, I think about 1. And I usually tend to break fast between 1 and 2. But usually once I break that fast, I wait about a half hour, 45 minutes, and then I go right into, having lunch and or a small snack. And for whatever reason, I wasn't hungry, so I didn't. And then, we go to do this workout, which was, I think we ended up playing 2 games of pickleball, and we each did, I think, a double round of using the machine. And it was probably about 100 degrees, so not really the best time of the day to do it, but it's just when it just happened to work out for our schedules. So I just, all of a sudden just felt very dizzy, got through the first game. I said, nope, I know my body. So we sat down and cooled off. And John said, do you have any electrolytes with you? And I said, no, you're right. I don't have any, which I should have. So while water for hydration is good, when you get into that period where you're getting in whatever the workout may be, whether you're working out in weights, walking, jogging, swimming, whatever it may be, and you're pickleball, you're getting that good workout in, and you're sweating to the point of, your intake of water is not keeping up with your sweat, because you drink it and you're sweating it right out. That is why you really need the electrolytes it knows your body's going through this whole kind of cycle, but you got to recycle the things that you need, those electrolytes, which is not just water. You need both. So, bad me did not take her electrolytes with her. So I was just hydrating with water, and obviously it was not enough. Played the second game, felt a little bit better, and then it dawned on me, I didn't need anything. So I had 2 strikes against me, and, I shouldn't do that. But, sometimes you get so excited whenever the fitness and or game that you got going on, and you forget about those things. So I will not make that mistake today. It's always reminding myself, even in the health and wellness industry that we are in, we too forget certain important steps that you really have to take to make sure that not only are you getting the best out of your workout, your body, whatever, that you're making sure that you're taking care of it to put, especially when you're pushing the envelope.
Yes, because I like to push the envelope when I am working out. And I know specifically when I get stagnant, I feel it as I'm doing it. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not working up to my potential here. So it was right around that time frame anyways, that I normally will, change everything up. And I knew I was going to be sore, and I had every intention of, going, for the first thing I normally do is my power walk. I still do that. I could barely make it to the other side of the house.
Oh, wow.
I just could not get out to do that, and was hoping to do, well, it's now raining, so of course I can't do that, but my muscles are starting to loosen up, even though they are very sore. So I'll be walking back and forth in the house, which is good. Keep those muscles nice and loose, and obviously hydrating very well. And let's just say that to sit down, oh Lordy, thank God I have there's a handicap bar in the bathroom on the other side of the house, because I was like,
Oh. I mean, and that it does hurt. And before I forget it, because I just realized what day it is, let's give a shout out, a happy birthday to our nephew, Cody Code. Know the code. It is Cody's birthday today. So we hope that you have a great day. Just want to make sure we get that in there. These things pop into your head. You want to make sure you don't forget. So we wish your great aunties wish you a great day. And I believe Cody's in his junior year. No, maybe it's his sophomore year. I think it's a sophomore.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I think it's a sophomore. Well, no, because we've been here 2 years. So it might be his junior year, because I think the first year we came down, he was going into high school. I could be.
Oh.
I think I'm right. I think he's a junior. He is. He cracks me up. He's got this just big smile, and a big guy. I wonder how tall he is now. He's got to be like 6 something.
Yeah, I would say for
And
sure.
as he gets taller, we shrink, so he appears to be tall.
Yeah, I remember obviously seeing him last year, and I was like, looked up to him like, Cody.
Oh, and then the other thing that we got trending, which I forgot to mention, which we of course have got to mention, is last night SpaceX launched 3 non-astronauts. So 3, I think it's 3 or maybe it's 5. I can't remember the number now. 4, I think it's 4 Americans that are going to travel around Earth for 3 days. And it was a gorgeous night for a launch last night. Saw some spectacular pictures, beautiful evening. It just soared in the sky. It was like all over Florida. There were, I'm not sure how far you could see it, but from the beach side where we are, Cape Canaveral's not that far, maybe about an hour. So you really get an excellent view from that perspective. But I know people as far as Kissimmee, St. Cloud, Orlando, DeLand, everywhere, you really got a great shot of it. And what they're going to do is they're going to see Earth from different angles. I know that they're going to be posting some different videos, but how cool is it that these 4 civilians get to do that? I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I know some people are nerved up to go on an airplane, but how about and you kind of think about, I don't know, I think of like the movie Armageddon or whatever, and we've been blessed where rockets have been part of our family, kind of like figure skating since we were children. And both of our brothers have a connection there and work. But just to be in that position, where they're looking up, they're not sitting upright, they're sitting, but they're angled, and just the power of that rocket that they're in plunging. I don't know that I could do it. I mean, I just I'm not sure I could do it.
I know for sure. I'm going to tell you right now, there's no way I could do it.
Yeah.
I would be saying it and doing it at the same time. And I'll just leave that at that.
Because I imagine, like, as a kid, I would go on roller coasters, merry-go-rounds, that kind of thing. And ever since I got pregnant and had children, which was many moons ago, I cannot get on a ride anymore. Like even the simple cups and saucers at, Disney World, like swirls around.
Yeah,
No,
no.
yeah, I'm not one for the height, things that drop, swings that go in a circle. I can go on a roller coaster, but it has to be outdoors. And it has to be like the kiddie roller coaster. Those I can do. I can do the kiddie ones, but I can't do, these Superman, these loops and I would imagine, being on a rocket, you're dealing with all those different forces of air and speed. I couldn't do it.
No, I definitely could not. But, kudos to those people that did that, because I'm sure that they had to go through obviously some type of training situation to do that. And, what an amazing
picture. So I got a picture of them right here.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a cool picture. So for our audience that cannot see, I just posted a picture of the four of them, and they look like they're excited. So
that is awesome.
An experience. So that's, I can't wait for, to hear their take, because it's, when you hear it from someone that's naturally trained in that field, it's kind of like they're on the job. Like this is very, there's always blessings and probably a grateful heart that they always have that opportunity. But for a civilian to do it, it's going to be a different perspective. And I think that's cool. So that is what's trending. What else is trending in your area?
Rain for the day. But, that is, that's the way it goes in, excuse me, in New England this time of year. Obviously with the ride down to Philly and on the ride back, and I think I may have mentioned this, they're, starting obviously with the tinges of color. So that's always exciting to see, like the tree in the front yard that, each day you see more speckles of the color. That's always exciting to me. And somebody said to me, I forgot who it was yesterday, it is beautiful. However, that the coldness is on the way. That's New England weather.
Yeah, I love the change of seasons. I love to see, the color change, but you're right. When you I can take New England probably to about January 2nd. And then I'm done with the snow. I do like to say, I do like that first real big storm. The anticipation that the power is going to go out, believe it or not, yeah, it's kind of exciting. It's not exciting after probably 24 hours. It's like you want to okay, I've had enough. But just the anticipation or keeping your power, preferably, which is a bonus, but just being snowed in. That first being snowed in and watching, nature do its thing. The carpet of whiteness everywhere on the ground, on the roads, the tree branches, it's so pretty. But really after 48 hours of that, I've had enough.
I think anybody can agree with that first snow. It is beautiful. And I always say, it can snow on Christmas or Christmas Eve, and then I'm kind of done with it. And that's only really the beginning of it. So that's what you have to deal with when you live in New England. And I've got my paper flowers, so I'm all set with that. I love them, beautiful colors there. My brother brought those over. He's really getting to be quite crafty, I must say. And he's making models like Gary makes, only he's making them in paper. Like the ships, submarines. Yeah.
I would be so if I was here, I'm going to give you an example of me doing that. So I'm going to get a piece of paper here, because obviously it must be very intricate, the little folds. I'd be so I did not see, I crinkled up the paper and threw it. I don't have the patience for that little tedious, I have a hard time, even when putting on a chain, when a fine chain and you're trying to get into that hole and you just try to, and then clasping it and it gets, I'm not really good at, critiquing little teeny things. That's not my forte, just, so I think that's wonderful. I think it's always good to embark on a new, activity, a new craft, a new, something that you have never done before that you've kind of always wished you wanted to do. And there are so many different, I know so many people now that are starting to get into puzzles. They were never into puzzles before. And it's just that, again, that kind of that will to beat, I'm gonna find that last piece if it's gonna kill me, or where this particular piece goes. And you look at the shape, and it really gets your mind working. And that's so important, as we age, to keep doing things that keep our mental acuteness and awareness like on point. So whether it be, knitting, sewing, working with your hands, or making models. Some things are more frustrating for some people like me. So find things that don't frustrate you, but that do push that envelope of using your fingers in such a way that you're keeping, nice and movement, got to get the joints, everything moving, but also keeping that mental acuteness and awareness going, like be on point, thinking. Problem solving is another one. There's so many problem solving type games out there that, again, kind of like brain teasers or whatever, or even, trivial games. Those are another things that kind of keep your memory on point with past events and current events. Charades is another good one, which is going to add a lot of fun to it, and just, just being present with family and friends in a way that you're also kind of learning and keeping up with your skills, and you're away from technology. I think those are good things. And those things there's so many things out there that are trending that people are doing now. One other thing that I saw was it's called the Uge tool. And it's a 3-piece modular paddleboard. And John and I have talked about doing some paddle boarding. I've got fairly good balance. John's balance is pretty decent, but again, it's another great way. But for us that, a paddleboard's pretty huge. So this comes, and actually it's a modular, and it comes in 3 pieces. So you can easily store it. It's lightweight, has a great storage capacity to put like car keys, wallet, whatever, phone. That is waterproof and secure. But it comes in 3 pieces, so you can literally put it in the backseat of your car. And it clasps on either side, very lightweight. So we're thinking about maybe picking up paddleboard. My only concern is the sharks, because there are sharks out there.
Yeah, I'm not too fond of water type of sports like that, but that does sound like fun. I would want to do something like that. Like they have a gadget like that. That's like a home gym type of thing. For balance, me with my bad hip, I would be afraid that I would wipe out and boom, that would be it. So
yeah, there's some calm, the intercoastal waterway is calmer than the other side. So I wouldn't even attempt it on the ocean, but I've seen a lot of people do it. It's good for balance. And there's one area in particular where there's a lot of dolphin. And I think that would be really cool to do.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think Jerry and Susan have the, I want to say it's the paddle where you're sitting down and you're like rowing.
Okay, that's what do they call that? Kayaking. Is it like kayaking?
No, it's like you're a sitting down type of bicycle.
Oh, a bicycle.
That to me looks fun. I would do something like that in the water.
That's interesting. I've never seen that kind of a thing.
Yeah, and I think it's a little motor on it. So like, if you get too far out, obviously you're gonna be tired. You can take it back in. That sounds like fun. I would maybe do that. Obviously I love biking. My at-home gym, the one that I always imagined in my head that I would have, it's getting more and more expensive each day.
Yeah, but the expense of it is cool because it's in your head.
Exactly. I have my, I became all at once. I'm like, oh, I'm interested in rowing. Like, I didn't know where even that came from, but I think I saw somebody rowing on a show or something. I'm like, that looks really interesting. So, I mentioned it to Gary, and He says, oh, I have a rower. So the haha is, do you know where it is and does it work?
Right, and it does, and it's lightweight. It's not too heavy, and I do that because to me it's like a full body workout. So it's
Right.
that, and you do it that way, or also, and if you can't afford one, or you don't want to have that type of equipment at home, you can get that same type of workout just using the bands and just getting that full body workout, your legs and your arms. I've really tried mimicking a rowing machine with the bands and looping them around a heavy piece of furniture, bracing my feet and going up and down that way. And that mimics the same type of motion. So it's a great workout. So
right. I love any kind of workout where it's all encompassing.
Right.
What I don't like, and that's why I kind of switched my, every few months, like I said, I switch my routine around. I do not like doing mat exercises. Hate it. Like I just don't like it, but I do it anyways because I know it's good for me. So
Right.
that's kind of what I'm in the process of transitioning, is my other type of a workout to include mat exercises. You gotta mix it up.
And you know what I always say too, even if you don't like necessarily mat exercises, use the mat and do stretching. Stretching is another piece that a lot of people forget to do.
Mhm.
And it's so good for the muscles. And again, all encompassing to the point of, as you age, and we always talk about this, and it's kind of one of those subjects that doesn't sound too nice, but we are born to die. It's just, that's the reality of it. So are you going to, you only get one of these, you only get one of these bodies. How are you going to make this body of yours work to be efficient, but also in such a way that is going to help the aging process not be so brittle with bones, muscles, and all of that? And the way to do that is to keep moving. Now, I actually was chatting with a woman at she's an instructor, so she goes to different gated communities. And the woman, I believe, is in her early 70s. She has the body of, an 18-year-old. And she's very long, she's very lean. And she said she was blessed with, those kinds of genes. But she does water aerobics. That's all she does for fitness. She goes, nope, I gave up weights a long time. I don't do any weights. I don't do any equipment. It's all water, and all encompassing of water, of getting the whole body movement. So she goes around to different gated communities and does these water aerobic type classes. And, she's set her body up for success. She's staying active because she's active within different communities. She's still working at, 72 years old. And like I said, she's got the body of like an 18-year-old. It's incredible.
And to her, it's not work.
No, she loves it. She really loves, she's definitely a people person, and she's like a light bulb. She shines. She just shines, not only, with her appearance, but it's more of her inner glow that just kind of pops out. So, it's just things that we realize when we kind of get into, you're entering into what we consider, what is considered retirement years. I guess the years now, actually, I don't know, this is the other thing that's trending, is that senior citizens retirement is actually expanded now to, a lot of people are working till they're like 70 years old now. And I think a part of that has to do with, what's going on in our world and our economy. But they're finding there's a correlation of, you work so hard all your life to get to that point where you can retire and do what you want. And some really take off with that, meaning they plunge into all these, whether it's golfing, working out, pickleball, tennis, traveling, reading, versus the traditional type of what a lot of people do for retirement is, a lot of times they wait till they're, well into their 70s, and then they decline very quickly because they're not still staying sharp. They're so used to that regimen of going to work and whatever that work may be. And all of a sudden they're like couch potatoes.
Yeah, I will not be a couch potato anytime soon. I may not move as gingerly as I would like to today, but that's okay. I will get done what I need to get done. And trending Thursday, oh my gosh, there's so many things I could chat about. But tomorrow is Fantabulous Friday. Gonna have a lot to say tomorrow. So I'll just leave it at that.
Here we go. Fantabulous Friday. I love the anticipation of that. But right now I am going to focus what's trending. And I'm going to check out to see a few different pieces of things that I'm looking at that have been trending. And one of them is that paddle board, boat, whatever you want to call it, is one thing. But I've got a few other things that I want to look at. And I even just like to figure out what's trending. What's popping up on Thursday, not only from an aspect of equipment, what's going on in our world. I do know that there are two events that are coming up for, as you know, we talk about what's going on in our world and our school systems. And I do know that the 17th, there's a big rally, a peaceful rally, but a big rally that is going on. I want to say it's at the State Capitol House in Boston. And then there's one in Connecticut, actually. Let me get to that so I have all the right information so I can make sure that I'm sharing the right information. But so let's see. Yes, the one on the 17th is called For Stand Up Freedom in Massachusetts. And that is going to be Friday, September 17th. From 12 to 3, and that is at the Massachusetts State House. And that's all about people, parents, guardians, whoever, time to come together for the biggest event that Massachusetts has ever seen. And it's called the People Freedom Endeavor. And basically really coming together because they don't really like what's going on in the school systems with mask mandates, because they're thinking long-term and being proactive, because obviously they're concerned about also vaccination mandates. And the other one that's happening, which is happening in Connecticut, which is on Saturday, it's called the Connecticut Freedom Rally. It's Saturday also from 12 to 3. And it's called Connecticut, for more information, Connecticut ctfreedomrally.com. And it's going to be at the Capitol building on Capitol Avenue from 12 to 3. Take a stand for parental rights and medical freedom. So those are the two big areas in New England of what is going on. I don't know whether New Hampshire's having one. I haven't found anything yet that they're having one, and I have not found anything going on in Rhode Island. But I'd like to, I always say that, with a protest and or rally of these sorts, they're a teachable moment, because our country was founded also on standing up for what is right, standing up for what is just. And sadly, our children have been exposed to the bad side of protests and rallies, where there's been violence, where there's been destruction of property, where there's been deaths, where there's been a kind of a tug of war with law enforcement. This is a great way, and I truly believe a teachable moment, to bring your child, age appropriate, of course, but bring your child to show them the rights of being an American and how you can do that. You could stand up for something that you believe in, even though others might not, in a respectful fashion, in a peaceful spirit, to say, we want to do better. We don't agree with what big government is doing, or our school systems are doing, local government, state government. And we're here to peacefully protest that, showing them, hey, we make a sign, maybe there's a slogan. And it is, for me, it's an educational point that a parent could have with their child. Again, age appropriate, but I think it's a teachable moment, that to show that this is what our country is about, that when we don't like something, we can speak out and speak up, but do it in a peaceful way. What do you think, Jan?
Well, yeah, I was just thinking of a video that I saw, I'm not sure where I saw it, but it was of a young mom and her toddler or young child in a grocery store. And I'm not even sure which state it was in, but they were at the checkout counter and police were in there writing tickets for people not wearing masks.
No, and well, yeah, I'm giggling over that because I think it's bizarre.
It's ridiculous.
I think there is significant data now that actually shows it. And in the data, what I found interesting, a lot of people kind of go back and forth with that data being talking about real data. Now we already know there's going to be a certain amount of skewed numbers. We know that because it just is, depending on what narrative you're coming up with, whatever it may be. But there is a comparison. I want to see if I can find it. I actually have a picture about it. There is a comparison of, and I want to say it was September of last year versus, here it is here. It's about talking about the peak active cases. So what these is, they took the number of the peak active cases in 2020, and they compared the peak active cases in 2021. So at the peak time, and this is when there were no vaccinations, okay? And I want to say this was September of 2020. The peak active cases were 9,034,460, okay? That's with a 0% vaccination rate because the vaccination wasn't out at that point. Now the peak active case is 9,243,682. So that number has gone up by 200,000, right? But the vaccination rate at this point, which is higher now, but the vaccination rate at this point of peak was 71% of America. I'm only talking about United States, guys, not anywhere else. So the vaccination rate was 71%. So, when you hear numbers like that, and again, to be fair, do we ever get true, real numbers? Probably not, because there are, this number does not say who's vaccinated, who's unvaccinated within the second piece to it. But the point being, the vaccination rate is pretty accurate. They have that's probably the only thing that's pretty accurate at this point is the vaccination rate. So if you have a vaccination rate of 71%, but yet the amount of cases at the peak is higher than it was at the same time last year when there was no vaccination, what does that tell you? I interpret that, and again, this is I interpret that is that the vaccination, people have to understand, does not make sure that you can't get it, that you can still get it. Of course you can still get it. That's what this proves. And it also shows that the higher percentage of people now that are hospitalized, while there are both unvaccinated and vaccinated that are in the hospital, the higher number is the vaccinated that are actually.
Yeah, and I just want to add to that because I could talk about this for hours. There was a very interesting article in the Epoch Times this morning, and it was a leaked Zoom video reveals hospital officials discussing COVID-19 scare tactics.
Wow, I haven't seen
Very
that.
interesting. So that's all I will say about that. I am obviously Epoch, and I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly.
Epoch, no, I think that
Epoch Times.
Epoch Times, I think so. The other thing, John actually had, part of his advantage plan, because he's an official senior. They come to the house. A traveling nurse comes to the house to do his, vitals, whatever. And this woman comes to the door, clearly way overweight. And we don't talk about really, for me, the bigger pandemic is health and wellness, about obesity. Obesity is killing more people than this virus. and I will go toe to toe to you with stats. So you can't even go there on that. But what I will say is, and I actually chatted about it, and there was the gym owner from New Jersey that is very vocal on this, you know, and I feel the same way. How do you take medical advice from someone that is clearly overweight? Now, I do understand there are many people that have thyroid and other issues that are contributing to their obesity or their overweightness, however you want to word it. So I do embrace that. So I'm not going to say this is like a blanket to everyone that's overweight, because I do understand that there are medical reasons and other alternative things that are going on in a person's life. So we want to make sure that we are clear on that. But, you know, if you are in the medical field, and I'm not saying that you can't be in the medical field and you're one of those people that has that medical condition, but you have to look at it from the flip side of the person that you're giving the information to. So this particular nurse comes to knock on the door, you know, masked up. She's outside with a mask at the door. She comes in, we welcome her in. And the first thing is, are you vaccinated? So, you know, that kind of threw me off, and I was just kind of listening to the conversation. And the line that she, you know, and John, you know, answered the question and was very polite. And then she had come back with, well, your grandchildren, do it for your grandchildren. You have grandchildren, do it for your grandchildren because you want to protect them. Now, I'm the type of person that will interject if it's appropriate. This was his physical per se, so I did not interject. But he knew that, you know, I was on the couch like ready, not in a nasty way, but ready to say, that's a pretty communist or socialism type statement, number one. And you're talking about seniors, so you're telling us that senior citizens have to worry about the young children and protect them from getting the virus from them. Isn't that a contradiction to what we've been listening to for the last 2 years? The complete opposite was, and data supports it, rightfully so, that children are not at risk, that children are the one segment of our population that recovers much quicker, that most of the time don't even get it. Yes, there are some children that get it, so it's not saying that no children get it, but they recover, they bounce back much quicker than an adult does. So I thought that was pretty telling. And then again, in addition, she gave him a whole list of vaccines he should be taking. Shingles, hepatitis, like there was a whole, I want to say there was at least 6 other vaccinations she wanted him to get. And he says, I don't turn green, I don't start glowing. Again, it goes back to, you know, you have that conversation with that medical person that you're having that conversation with. And, you know, like John's, I don't want to say argument, but his contradiction to what she was saying is, look, I'm a healthy male. I work out every day. You know, we now have changed our lifestyle to a little bit more plant-based, you know, kind of combo of vegan and vegetarian. So we're eating much cleaner now. We're enjoying what we're eating. I don't drink a lot. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't overeat. And I'm in pretty good condition. So I'm going to take the odds that my body is a very, very intelligent machine of its own. And not only that, I'm taking my probiotics, my prebiotics. It takes, you know, the same supplements, nutritional program that I do. And he said, why aren't you more active in chatting about a healthy lifestyle versus getting all these 6 shots? She couldn't really answer him. And, you know, so I think that the medical industry, there are some that are really on point and there's some that are just not. And I think we can say that with even politics or what your local government and national government is telling you. But how telling is that video conference call has been leaked? And I think you're going to see more and more of that, because sadly, even the numbers that we're telling you, we can't 100% say they're accurate. I think the only thing that we can accurately, I think the only thing that anyone in America right now, and not even from a global standpoint, from America, the only thing that we can have a true stat is who's been vaccinated, like the percentage versus the total population. That's probably the only thing right now that we're pretty on point. Other than that, no.
Yes. And on that note, so much more I could say, but I'm going to save it for tomorrow.
Yes.
My name is Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0, and I am with
TwoSistas, and this is Carol Sue, aka Naughty Bus, live on this Triumph Tuesday. We are super excited. We shared a lot of information with you.
Trending Thursday.
See, I always do that. The T's must be a trending Triumph. Like it kind of be a combo, because you could be triumphing over things of trending that you don't like. I guess you could look at it that way. But anywho, we will see you tomorrow for a fantabulous Friday. You guys have a great day, everyone. Take care.
Everyone, have a great day.